welcome back. This is Dress Code Cinema, a podcast brought to you by Living at Uganda. And please first and foremost, subscribe and share this channel. We bring you with this podcast, we bring you costume design, we bring you fashion design, film, theater, name it, anything concerning the way we dress for cinema, the way we dress for shows, the way we dress, anything. It is a Dress Code Cinema brought to you by Living at Uganda. And today, the guest stroke host is yours truly, Grace Katete. Yes. Today, I just wanted to, because usually I have guests and they take us through with who they are, what they do, what they've done, what we should do, how costume designers are suffering, how we should improve on this, how this is done, how this is not done. So today I just wanted just us to have a little chat. It's not going to be long. Don't be scared. Don't run away. Please stay tuned. Don't run away. To chat about the impact of costume design in storytelling. What do we need? Why do we need costumes? Yeah, why do we really need them? What do they do? How do they come about? Because it is not by mistake. Everything you see on screen is called a frame. That frame, everything you see is intentional. It is intentional. So today I want us to dive a little bit into costume design in terms of storytelling. Yeah. So I want us to talk about color. I want us to talk about texture. I want us to talk about moods. I want us to talk about the things that contribute to you seeing, for example, me, why am I dressed like this today? Yeah? Why am I dressed like this now? What contributes? How was all that put together? There are reasons. Yeah? There is a costume designer behind there doing the research, doing the mood boards, yeah? Having inspiration, sharing notes with directors, and putting things together. We may not really zero down on film or theater, but look at shows, look at things like maybe concerts, look at red carpets, yeah? So everything is intentional in terms of what you see, in terms of the visual. So first and foremost, I want us to talk about the inspiration. Yeah, first and foremost, what inspires what? Okay, what inspires what? For example, an artist. Let me not even go just be in film. Let me go something that is so relational with everyone. Like an artist could have a show, yeah, and they have to have a theme. Seriously, if you don't have a theme, then things will just be like mixed up katogo. Okay, you have to have a show, a theme for the show. Then the artist has to consult the costume designer. You know what? I have a concert, or I'm doing a show, and this is the theme for the show. So the theme for the show has to be the inspiration that the costume designer hangs on to be creative and create. For example, an artist can say, my theme is maybe Ice Queen, like icy, like Ice Queen. My theme is natural, like natural. My theme is futuristic, like I want something from the future, something like unseen before. So from that theme, the costume designer will take it and start looking for inspirations with that theme. And from the inspirations, the sketches will start coming down. The costume designer will sketch. He will start thinking, he will start looking for films, looking for how does ice look like? For example, if we take the theme of Ice Queen or Ice Prince or Ice King, whatever, then the costume designer will start looking, oh, how does ice react with heat? How does ice, how do people maybe, like, they may start looking at like landscapes, like like they will start looking for things that relate to the theme, and from there they will start creating. And after creating, actually in that process of the theme, thinking about it and everything, there's a lot of research also done. There's a lot of research. The costume designer will go in and start looking for things that are related to eyes. They'll start looking for the object itself, like the eyes, how does it react? How do you keep it? Its habits and mannerisms, you understand? Yeah, so because all that will help the costume designer to be really creative and kind of be special, So with that, the costume designer will take pictures. They'll pick out pictures of this and that, this ice, this ice, that, this ice, this, put everything together. The costume designer will look at colors of ice. How does ice look when you put it maybe in a rainbow or with so many colors? How does it react? How does it look? How, when it's with a single color, they will experiment, they will dig deep into the theme, okay? As they are digging deep into the theme, that is the research they are doing. From there, they'll come up with ideas, with their own ideas. And now, coming up with these ideas, they are putting into consideration their client, that is the artist, okay? Now, our case study for this is an artist who has a show or a concert or an appearance, yeah? So they are putting in mind that person, whether male or female. They are looking at their body shapes. They are looking at who they are as a person. They are looking at their style as an artist, not as a person, yeah? Because usually we have, people could have their personal style, and when they are doing their work or job, in most cases, artists, when they're doing their job, they could be something else. So sometimes it's very important for a fashion designer or costume designer to differentiate, to have like a line. This person is this when doing this, is this when doing this. Or there are people that are just one, their style just cuts across. So in doing all that, the costume designer is considering everything. They're considering who they are, their body shapes, yeah, what they are comfortable with, okay? Because in all this, like I call it the research process. The costume designer is constantly talking with the artists. Probably they know them, they've dressed them before, or they are new, they've not dressed them before, so they're asking them, how comfortable are you with this? How do you feel about this? If there's this movement, how do you feel? If there's this tightness, how do you feel? You understand? So that when they are doing whatever they are doing, it comes out like perfect fitting, and it has like that kind of freedom for the wearer, for the person putting it on, okay? Yeah, so basically that is the beginning part, okay? So in that beginning part, now the costume designer has a sketch, the artist or client likes it, and now they are going to do their thing, okay? Before they do their thing, they also have to confirm colors. Now I want to cross to cinema. I want to cross to film or theater or television. So when we are talking about color, color does a lot. Color says a lot. Color helps us say a lot, because when you look at costumes and clothes, like the things we wear, the things we put on our bodies, they say, for me I feel for me I feel this is the real story. This is a story. I mean, this is a story, because if I dressed an actor or actress and they just sat there, okay, and they just sat there, someone seeing visually, someone seeing has to be able to tell, first and foremost, what age this person is. Yeah. Secondly, what or who they are in society. Okay. For example, what do they do? Are they like a business? Are they a business person? Are they like a religious person? Are they a teacher? Are they maybe from the army? Are they? You understand it? All that, like the social status. That, like, visually, someone has to be able to do that. Someone has to be able to know what stage they are in life. For example, mood, how they feel, where they are. You understand? So that shows you that costume tells the whole story. If costume can go as deep as mood and feelings, my dear. So because if I dress someone in shades of grays, shades of black, that shows you the mood. That shows you where they are in life. There's something dark. There's maybe not so dark, maybe something low. Yeah, the vibration is low. Like it's low. They are low. You understand? So costume, when I dress someone and they just sit there like that, someone has to know the story. The story is already visually, the story is told. Even before they start saying, acting, oh, okay, box, or what, move here, put your leg up. No, the story is already told. So for me, I feel that costumes do, let me say, 85% in telling the story. I feel it does. It does. So just talk more about color. Color can show you where this person is, like socially. That one, we've talked about it. Colors can also give us the time period. Time period means what era this person is from. Okay? Because, you know, we have films that are period films. Period films mean a period means a time far, yeah, a time that has passed. There are films from the 80s, there are films from the 20s, from the 70s, from the 90s and 2000s. Okay, so and all those periods had their colors. They had their colors that really popped out. The way colors used to be used, patterns, textures and fabrics. You understand? Every period has its own. So when I dress up someone, okay, when I dress up someone, maybe let's say from the 70s, okay, you should be able to see some prints that are passing, like colorful, like oranges and turquoise blue and greens, like all together, someone putting on all that. You understand? Then maybe like a beret hat this side, like big belts, like platform shoes, bell bottoms. Then you're like, this person is from, what are they doing here? You know, because what you're seeing, the colors, I've already told you where this person is from. You understand where this person is from. There are also those films that indigenous, like let me use a simple word, traditional. Yeah, like we can have, let me say, here in Uganda, you can see, when you see a film where people are putting on skin, animal skin. People are putting on backcloth, cowrie shells. Those are ours, okay? Then you say, oh, Birabika, it's about the Buganda kingdom or the Chabazinga or the you know that is indigenous. However, we have indigenous, every area has its own indigenous identity. You understand? When you see something from the future also like looks a certain kind of way. However, I feel future should not actually be boxed or predicted. It is something that we should not know about. If you come up with something futuristic, it should be like, wow, where has this been? We don't know about this because it's in the future. Yeah, so that is how color is such important. Then, beside color, I'm here to prove to you how costume design tells a story. 85%, even before someone does anything or says anything. Beside color, we have texture, and with fabrics, yeah, fabrics and textures. The textures also tell a story, okay? Because if I put on like a lot of wool, jackets that are woolen, I'm layered. I've layered. Yeah, I've layered my layering is you put on maybe like a camisole inside, no, like a spag top inside, a sleeveless top. Then you put on like a shirt. Then you put on like a polo neck. Then you put on like a blazer. Then you put on like a jacket. Then you put on a scarf. Okay, this show like this already tells a story. All right, it already tells a story. It's from the West. It is from the West. We are in Uganda. We are in East Africa. We are Africans. We don't layer because we don't. Most of our countries don't have snow. Okay, it's those people that need warmth, so they keep layering their clothes. They put on a lot of clothes, and underneath they have like 5 clothes minus the one you see on top. You understand? So, and when you see a lot of wool, yeah, a lot of knitted materials, like it's for covering the body, like for warmth. Yeah, it instantly, for me, when I see that, it instantly goes to the West. And when I'm looking at a cast or an actor, now we are in theater and film, when I'm looking at them and they're put on silk, yeah, fabrics of silk, fabrics of light cotton, yeah, linen, yeah, that speaks it gives me this person like kind of a luxury feel. Yeah, gives a luxury feel because most of them are in white. Mainly linen is white and cream, I think, mostly. Yeah, there are other colors, but it's mostly those colors. But those fabrics, the way they feel, and even on the eye, when you look at them, when you want to give someone a role, a character that is kind of soft and kind of maybe fragile, silk is good because silk is kind of soft and fragile. You understand? If you give them corduroy or wool, this is like, oh, you understand? So when you want something soft, okay, you want the character to look as someone who is soft, that helps you like instantly. Okay, it helps you instantly. When we look at the corduroys, the example I just gave, corduroys, some polyester. When we look at wool, some wool. When we look at khaki, okay? Those are strong fabrics. Those are strong fabrics. It can help you if you have a character that you need. For example, this person is from the army, okay? And you want to portray that strength, okay? You want to portray them as strong, resilient, go-getters, okay? It is good when you see such fabrics. It's good. It brings out the character very well. Even before they begin saying anything, they're just seated there. I'll look at them and start thinking, where is this guy coming from? Where is this woman coming from? Where is this kid coming from? Okay, so just to go back a little bit about the use of color, there's something that I've seen, and it interests me so much. I've seen it in films whereby they use a single color for telling a story. In which way? For example, it's a whole film, and the costume designer and the director agree on using either white, or white is not really, most DOPs don't like white, but I'm just giving an example. White, red, yellow, burnt orange, those colors that really are strong, and they stand out. And you see the lead actor or lead actress put on this color all throughout the film, or all throughout the play. You understand? This also, for me, I find this so interesting, the use of color, just to show this, how this person is maybe alone, like, you understand, they're alone. You can see when you look at such films, sometimes they make sure they put that person like in a crowd, yeah, in a crowded place, everyone, and the costume designer will make it a point, like everyone around them is putting on like shades of gray, or shades of like dark black, grays, like colors that are really contrasting well with either red or the yellow, or the color that the main cast is putting on, which really, for me, I find it so like interesting and intriguing. Like, it really tells like a story, like immediately, like instantly. Who is that? Who is that putting on yellow? Then you look, you watch the film, you see how they are moving. Then as you go on, you realize, oh, actually this person is a lonely person, or this person is this person. They have their own story. They are so indifferent from society. You understand? So if you go deep, it's really interesting. You understand? But it was like just a use of a single color. And also when some films when they are done, you can see that the color palette. Remember, I went back to talking about color. The color palette that's used, okay? You as a costume designer doing whatever you're doing, whether it's a show, an artist show, whether it's a photo shoot, whether it's you're making a runway look for a celebrity or whoever, whether you're doing film, whether you're doing whatever you're doing, there has to be a color palette, there has to be a script, there has to be a story. Okay? If you're not telling any story, I feel you will not make any impact. You will not make any impact. Like, someone will just, okay, they are good. You know, they are good. I've seen Nigerians, oh man, Nigerians are on their A game. I've seen them make like red carpet looks of like pineapple, like fruits, like pineapple, a dress, like avant-garde dress, like red carpet, pineapple, banana, like I mean, someone may say, that's too much. Yeah, it is, but I mean, it just shows you how the costume designer is so like full, you know, they are full, they have these ideas and they want to put them out. You understand? So there should be a story. So I was just about to talk about how every project you do as a costume designer, you should have a color palette. This will help in terms of cohesion. This will help in terms of direction. This will help in so much. This will help in so many ways that when you have a color palette, maybe let's say your color palette is, what example can we use? Let's say it is happy, okay? Your color palette is happy. And this is the overall, all right? This is the overall. But when we are talking about theater, as you have that color palette, you know you have different characters and they are different people. So all of them can't be moving in the happy. You have to pick something from that happy and give each person, yeah? If we are talking about theater, if we are talking about film, yeah? You have to pick something for everyone, yeah? And also this depends on the story, okay? The story is happy, so your color palette is there, happy, all happy. So as you work, you have to get away of giving each person a color palette, and this color palette have to be able to merge in together well, okay? Not fighting against each other. They have to work for each other to help you have a cohesion, so that when the frame is out and when you're looking at everyone in a frame, maybe you have like 2 or 3 actors in one frame, you can, like, there's a cohesion. They are not fighting. They are all together. Because one thing you have to realize is like, when we are dressing up, even for maybe film or theater, this is like acting. It's not real, okay? But we are depicting real life, all right? So because I usually tell people that when you look at people in real life, can they do that? You understand? Can someone put on that in their real life, depending on who they are? You understand? So, for example, if you're talking about a doctor, okay? And you're working with a doctor is one of your characters that you have. You have a doctor in there. Eh? Can a doctor wake up one morning and they put on all yellow? And they go to their office? Doctors have like kind of their color palette naturally in real life, okay? For example, lawyer. Can you wake up and see a lawyer putting on a pink suit and they are going to their law firm? You understand? That is like really awkward. It is really awkward unless in the story something is happening to this lawyer. Something is going on. You understand? So if you give this pink suit to this lawyer, for us, visually, we will start thinking something is going on with this lawyer, okay? Because it is not in line, suitable for a lawyer to put on a pink suit and go to work. So if there is nothing happens, there will be question marks, okay? Why is a lawyer being given a pink suit, okay? So like in real life, as we're addressing people on screen and theater, we think about real life and the time period they are coming from. You understand? The time period they are coming from, because a lawyer now and a lawyer in the 90s and a lawyer in the 80s, 70s and a lawyer in the 60s, you know, they were all different. However, there are some people in society that don't really change a lot, okay? The styles just change a little bit now. If you look at lawyers, maybe they don't put on bell bottoms, maybe they don't put on oversized jacket. The jackets are little, right now the jackets are little, you know, fitted. The jackets are little, you know, tighter. You understand? And so my point was, as we dress, we have to, costume designers, even those aspiring, you have to really, really be keen on your color palette, because this will give you the realism, okay? It will give you the realism. We shall be, tujja kwewuunya nnyo. We have seen nga tulabye who? Nga tulabye Aseira omuvubi, is that a sailor? This person that ababeera ku nyanja, those people, fishermen, bafishing ebyennyanja, ng'omuwadde bright colors. You understand? Ng'omuwadde bright colors. Unless something in their story, there is something changing. There is a story behind that change. You understand? There is something behind that change. But naturally, visually, when someone is looking at a fisherman or muvubi, they will expect to see a muvubi in their over dirty shirt. They are taking fish, or they are taking to clean their boats, or things like that. You understand? So if you give them a color palette that is that's very bright and very smart, there will be questions. You get. So however much you have, remember the color palette we are working with is bright and happy. Okay, so you have to get the lowest in that color palette. Okay, maybe that will be for another time, because it also has, it's kind of deep, like the spectrum. You get your spectrum, the happy spectrum, and look at it. Then you go to the lowest, you pick out from them to the lowest, because they are naturally, it's very hard to find them putting on like white all through. You understand? It's very hard to find them putting on like a yellow shirt, very smart. You understand? So you pick the lowest from your spectrum. Yeah, so that is about the color palette, and how it is important, yeah, for a costume designer to have it, whether for concert, whether for film, TV, like anything. You need to have like a color palette to work with. Okay, so there is also something I want us to talk about. When we are now, this one is not for shows, it's not for addressing artists and red carpets and what. This is strictly for film and theater. When people live, when we are living our lives, we live a life. I've not found anyone actually who lives like a life that's flat. Yeah, a life that just. When we are living, we have ups and downs. The bar goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay? And the stories that we tell on screen, theater, have that. Okay? Whether we want to think about it or not, it's there. There is literally, I've not seen a story where we see someone, for example, there's a girl, she comes from the village, she comes to the city, then she's there trying to figure life out, then she stays like that, then she's there figuring out life, then she's there, she's still with her village mentality, then she's there, she's like that, and the story ends. I've not seen many of those stories. I've seen stories whereby there is a boy, he's young, he wants to be a doctor. He struggles to be a doctor. He comes from a poor family, there's no money, he struggles, struggles. Then at some point, he will get there. Or at some point, he will fail. You understand? But there is up and down, not like constant. That, for example, we will see this boy, he will be there, he will aspire, he will go to school, or he will remain in school. Or, okay, maybe leave school, but after leaving school, he will be there, nothing really going on, or like, I can't even try to describe it, because it's not, naturally, it's not there. Because even if a story is as short as how, because if that boy comes from a poor family, that is already low, okay? Meaning your bar has to be low. That boy goes to school, the bar goes a little bit high, that's a plus. The bar is going a little bit high. That boy has dreams, he has aspirations, he wants to be a doctor, he studies and he studies well, okay? So if he studies and he doesn't study well, the bar goes down. Then after school, he meets someone who encourages him. Even if you studied bad, something can happen, it goes. So it is whether how bad or how good, the life bar for every story, even you watching me, even me, the bar is up and down, up and down, however badly. Because you find stories that maybe this girl is an orphan. That is already low. She's an orphan and her parents had money, okay? And they left her with some relatives, yeah? And those relatives they were not paying school fees for her. They were not treating her really well, okay? But you will find that there are some positives in that girl's life. Those are that's how the bar will go up, okay? The bar will go up a little bit. So where am I saying all this? Where am I coming at? When we're addressing people, okay? When we're addressing people, we look at their lives. In the story, you look at someone's life. Where are they? Are they happy? Is something good happening? How are they feeling? Are they sad? Are they tipsy? Are they, like, whichever feeling they have at that moment, you should be able to dress them to depict that through the things we've talked about: color, texture, time period. All those should be helping you to put, like, visually depict that through that character, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've picked something. Costume designers out there, fashion designers, those aspiring and those film lovers, I hope you picked something today. And that was it with me today here at Dress Code Cinema. Please like and subscribe to Living Arts Uganda. Share the channel and keep it low.